Hello, let's do a trade recap together. I didn't take a trade yesterday, but I did see a lot of opportunities, and obviously, as we know, Nasdaq, I'm paper trading until I understand it more. But what I did see was there was this gap that did get filled. On my morning analysis, I did say that that was a point of interest for me. We had an indication and a correction, and then we had that continuation, which went through the gap, which was interesting to see. I had a few people say that they're looking at taking buys from that gap, but my bias was still sells because that's what structure was showing me. Yeah, I didn't end up taking this trade, but I did look at it in hindsight. I'm trying to understand how Nasdaq moves rather than just what can I say, like, because I've never traded Nasdaq before and I haven't done enough back testing of it to be confident on like its movements. So I'm really just kind of observing, marking up, and just seeing what I get presented to me. But we can see there was a very nice correction, and after that correction, there was a point of resistance, which we can see here, which would be we got to this point of resistance, which was interesting. Hold on. And that was right at that level. So as you can see, we had that indication, and that was this one here is London session. We got to the bottom of that correct indication, and then we came back and did a correction. And yeah, at the end of that correction, we can see that obviously was a point of resistance where price just didn't want to go any further. Now, I could have taken that as an indication of, okay, yeah, we're ready to go on that continuation, and that's obviously a hindsight type of thing because we can see there was a doji here, and then we got this nice big momentum candle, and obviously we're looking at it in New York session as well. We did have these pretty big momentum candles at the start of New York session, but I still had the bias of sells. If we go into the 15-minute, you can see a little bit more of why I put my position where I did. I was more looking, because you can't really see it super clearly, but I was more looking for a breakage structure underneath the level, which is, I've said before, one of my faults. Here we go, breakage structure here. So that's why I entered at this point, because we had obviously broken structure. And I had explained a few different entries that I could do in a shorter video, which I posted yesterday, but yeah, I was just kind of observing what price would do. What was really good is that my bias for that day was correct. My trade idea for that day was correct. My placement was incorrect. Ideally, I would have loved. Sorry, I forgot which part I was up to. But yeah, I think I was talking about how I was looking at in hindsight where I would have entered in this trade, because obviously I saw it happen. I saw the ICC setup, but I think I just need to understand where my entries are going to be on Nasdaq in comparison to gold, just because I've noticed with gold that waiting for that breaker structure above or below that level usually works out better. But I know in accordance with the strategy, you'll just enter off with that breakout, but it's just not really something I'm comfortable with doing at this stage, just because I've experienced it in the past where I have just entered off that breakout and it's not fully given me that confirmation that price was going to head in that direction. It might just be a me problem, but yeah. So in hindsight, I guess I could have noticed that, hey, there's a resistance level here and we've made this swing low here. So price will probably continue down from this point forward, and we can wait for that extra confirmation candle, which we got, and then have entered here with a stop loss at that same spot. And then I could have targeted here, or if we're looking on a higher time frame, where did everything go? Hold on. If we're looking at the higher time frame, like I had predicted, price is going to want to fill this gap. So I could have had it sitting here. I didn't predict that it would go all the way down to this resistance level. I thought it was just going to come here, form a lower, high, low in accordance with what price action we have here. And yeah, I thought it would just end up continuing up at some point, which, I mean, when you look at the higher time frame model, I actually did say that if you look here, we have formed an indication and then we should still be correcting back down to this level. So I guess you could say I predicted it, but I had stronger conviction that it will come and fill this gap, which it did, which is amazing. But yeah, I guess Nasdaq, it seems to be a little bit more predictable in terms of how it moved during that whole movement. Like, it was just very clear. Like, you've got the indication, the correction, continuation with momentum. It was very, very clear. It definitely not listened to the strategy, but the strategy definitely helped me see this one. So yeah, so far I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, obviously, again, I didn't trade. I didn't have that set up already there because I don't know, I just didn't see it. My alert didn't go off, but my alert did go off once price made that indication, and I was looking at again taking a trade below this level. I think just when it chopped around here, I wasn't really sure what to do. And yeah, but this is a trade that I would have taken in hindsight. And yeah, just looking at this, I can see that that would have been the trade. And again, this is the original trade that I was like, yeah, okay, this is probably where I'll put it, where I would have put it. But analyzing it further, I can see that there was definitely indication that price wanted to go down with these two candles here. And given that we had that high time frame ICC setup. So yeah, that's what I was thinking for NASDAQ. Let's go over to gold. I think Trades by Side took a trade on gold. I didn't see the trade. I'm gonna be so honest. Like I didn't see it, and I didn't realize that that's what it meant when price did that. Again, like obviously I'm learning, and I'm just trying to like get my head around different things. And again, I had to remind myself, especially from last week, I don't have to be in a trade to learn and to take away something from what the markets is showing. So yeah, I guess what I'm doing now is just really building up my market experience. I'm building up my own discretion when it comes to trading and trading ICC. And yeah, it's helping me a lot just by marking up and observing what price is doing without jumping into trades that I don't understand. Because I feel like I can jump into trades, obviously, if I want to, but if I don't fully understand them, then I'm not going to learn how to, like, what setups to have high conviction in, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's all learning. But yeah, for looking at the 4 hour here, I had marked up these high lows here. I had this price bearish below level here and price bullish above. What we did see was there was just a very strong resistance level where price didn't want to break through. What ended up happening yesterday is price actually just broke through here. And it broke through to the downside, indicating that sellers were more in control. But I thought that I'm probably wrong. Again, I thought that this would have been considered consolidation because price really just bounced in between here. But I guess it didn't really bounce in between here. It did make a higher high in theory, and I guess it kind of bounced in between this range here. So I guess this would have been a more accurate no trade zone. And then once price broke below this swing low, we could have probably taken a sell setup at New York Open. But for me, I just don't. You can see up here, there's like all these different parts of this video because it just keeps cutting out. But anyway, yeah, I guess this would have been a more accurate no trade zone in hindsight. But I mean, what I'm confused on is I don't understand where the indication that price was going to go down was, because we could see that price was forming bullish structure and it didn't want to go below these levels. But yeah, I don't know. I guess honestly couldn't tell you. I guess because there's like more of like spikes here where it's like, okay, buys kicked in, push price up, sellers kicked in, push price up, and then yeah, we did. I'm just explaining the resistance that was formed. But yeah, there was obviously a very clear resistance here where price just did not want to go higher than here. So from here to here would have been the no trade zone. And yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at this now, like obviously we're a little bit through Asia session, but this looks like an indication and correction. So I'm just a bit confused because it looks like this was the indication. I might be wrong though. I guess like I've said a lot of times before and I've expressed, I've noticed that there is different setups that Trades by Side takes, and a lot of them are based off of more like the support and resistance, and he'll kind of take the breakout from support and resistance on certain occasions. So I need to disclose what those occasions are and what the setup actually looks like in theory, because I do ICC like this. Obviously, we're not really in a trending market right now, so it's a little bit hard for me to trade ICC, but let me just... So this is what price would look like in my head. We've got this price bullish above. Ooh, I spelled that wrong. You know what? This is a very makeshift explanation. Price is bearish below. And then we'd want to see the indication that price is going to come up to this level, or price is wanting to go to this level. Got that correction that comes below this level. Wave some bullish structure on the lower time frames. And once price gets above this level, it should push up to here. And this is what I am used to taking. Obviously, price isn't doing this at the moment, especially in the market conditions that we've experienced, because of, I don't know, the markets just aren't very good right now. So obviously this doesn't work all the time, and it's definitely limiting me with my setups that I can take. But I mean, it's just what I've learned and what I've backtested and what I've gotten really good at, but not like amazing at, but like obviously I have areas that I can learn, but it's what I've been good at so far and what I've been studying and what I've kind of understood ICC to be. So when it comes to these like support and resistance setups where, you know, price is like hitting this level over and over and over again, I would have thought that, you know, we're making this bullish structure, we're making all equal highs here. I thought that price would have wanted to continue higher. And I would have taken that as the indication and correction and then waited for the continuation. But I guess I'm wrong, because what I can see here is we've kind of done this. And then as soon as price broke below here, it's sold off. And then it looks like we're entering off of this. Like, I don't understand really too much. Maybe, again, I just need to have a better understanding. And I'm hoping that he posts a trade breakdown of what his mindset was so I can study them. I'm trying to study the trade breakdowns that he's doing in these market conditions just because I don't see them. And there's no point in me like just taking them if I don't understand them. But yeah, this is what I was observing. Again, I didn't really observe anything. To me, this whole area was the no trade zone. I wanted to see price shoot through here or price shoot through here. Sorry, my loom cut out again. But yeah, that never ended up happening. So yeah, it is what it is. That's okay. Let's do the trade recap. Okay. I really got to redo these templates because they don't really work when I'm trading two instruments. But let's see, I think if we copy paste this, that should work. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, whatever. Okay. Setup option you observed. We had a bearish ICC setup. Reason for entry is sitting out. Wasn't confident in entry. My ideal entry was too far into the move. Need to get more confident with entering on the break. When I say the break, I mean when price breaks below that level, below or above, but in this example below. We obviously didn't take trade. Setup opportunity observed, none in accordance with my strategy, but obviously we can keep in mind that trades by this guy took an entry, and I should probably learn how he's taking those entries. But for me and my knowledge that I have gained so far, I didn't see an opportunity. And then reason for entry is sitting out. No alert was hit and no level was broken. Emotions, pretty much, I was pretty calm. Did I follow my plan? Yeah, I did. Except maybe the NAS setup. Mistakes noticed. Just not being able to identify a good entry on NAS. Because, yeah, there was definitely an opportunity. I observed the opportunity, but I just let it play out in front of me so that I could find out where would have been that good place to enter. But, I mean, that's fine. I didn't take an entry. I'm rating my discipline as an 8 because I wasn't jumping into setups. I wasn't jumping into anything that I wasn't 100% confident on. Key takeaways. study the support and resistance entries. What I'll do better tomorrow. Look at how price reacts and plays out with support and resistance, because I want to know if even on gold here, because we've kind of done the same thing. Wait, no, gold is the one that I'm supposed to be looking at. I want to know if price ends up going on a continuation once it gets back below this level. I haven't done a morning analysis yet, so that's why nothing's marked up. But that's what I want to know. Is price gonna, just because it's rejected off of that resistance, is this actually just an indication? Or, I mean, we've got this kind of indication here, correction, continuation. Let's have a look at what that looks like on the lower time frame. Yeah, okay, so we kind of had, this was kind of a setup, indication, correction, and then continuation. That could have been a move that I could have taken. But again, when it comes to trusting those higher time frames, like it was just a wick. But this is definitely a setup that I could have taken. We got the lower high, we got the lower low. Stop loss here, take profit here. That's definitely a setup that I could have had. But I mean, look at the wick. But it did close below, so it did show that it wanted to go below. Yeah, that's definitely a setup that I could have taken. I guess yeah, maybe I need to set up my no trade zones better, because we did get a bullish structure. Now I'm lost again. But yeah, on that 1 hour, that did look like a setup that could have been taken. This one here, that indication, correction, and continuation. Maybe I just missed that, to be honest. And then yeah, I could have my take profit down here. It looks like it would have just been hit, but I probably would have had it like a little bit. I would have given it some room. But yeah, it's actually a setup that I could have taken. Maybe better. My loom has cut out 5 times, so that's really annoying. But anyway, so I'm going to look at how price reacts and plays out with support and resistance, and better outline my no trade zones, because maybe I'm looking too far into the past to find them. So let's just screenshot a gold because that's what's open. That makes me feel good though, as weird as it sounds, it makes me feel good that I missed an entry, because at least I'm seeing it in hindsight. And yeah, I mean, there's entries there. It makes me have a little bit more faith in my strategy, I guess you could say, because it's like there's entries there. I'm just not taking them at this stage. I'm not identifying them in the moment. Or maybe I think it's my morning analysis that maybe is messing me up, because maybe I'm going too far in the past for my morning analysis. But yeah, that's my trade recap. Hope you guys enjoyed and got some type of value out of this. Obviously, I still have a lot more work to do and a lot more study to do on trading to get to that level I want to get to. But for now, I'm proud of how I handled that day, because again, clearly I didn't understand. Clearly I wasn't seeing things, but it's okay. It's all learning at the end of the day. But yeah, I hope you guys took something out of this. Hopefully you caught one of those trades that I missed. And yeah, hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll speak to you guys later. Bye.